Just picked up the Ryobi Wet Dry Hand Vacuum 18 volt 1 Plus. It comes with a couple of dry attachments, and I bought the one with the 2 amp hour battery. I'm going to give this a good test on my sturdy car to see how the dry function works, and then I'm going to test the wet function and give you a complete review of what I think about the Ryobi 18 volt Wet Dry Hand Vacuum 18 volt 1 Plus. So I got about 10 minutes of straight vacuuming my car with the 2 amp battery. It's completely drained. When it drains pretty fast. So I'm going to remove this battery. And although I don't think it did the best job, it's not going to do as good a job as one of those 5-gallon wet dry vacs. I still think it did a pretty good job for what it is. So now I'm going to show you how to clean the filter, and we'll see how much dirt it picked up from the bottom of my car. To remove and clean the filter, press this button in and then pull out. You're going to twist this to the left, just like that. And there's the filter. It's very dusty. You can either tap this clean, or you can run it under water. You just got to let it dry for quite a bit of time if you're going to clean it with water. Clean this off. I'm just going to use a paintbrush or any kind of brush. Now to remove this dust bowl, you want it in this position with the accessory down. And the first time you do it, it's going to be a little hard, but just kind of work your way around this, and it just pulls out like that. That's all the dust and hair I got out of my car. Now I'm going to test out the wet vac part of it, and honestly, I'm probably never ever going to use this except for right now for this test. But the instructions say to make sure to get all of this dirt out and get it clean. You don't want it turning to mud, so I'm going to do that right now. When putting this back together, line up this half square piece with this. It'll only go in one way. It won't fit if you try and do it that way. You want the screen facing up. As for the filter, just look at the instructions on it. Twist it to the right to lock it. This is a little wet in here still. We want this facing down. The instructions say that several times. You don't want to turn it up or rock it to the side. You just want it down when you're using it for the water, to extract water. I'm going to use a 4 amp battery with this one. The other one's charging. I'm going to insert the main attachment. Then I'm going to put the squeegee attachment over it. Whoops. Darn it. All right, I've got the water above max. You've got to pay attention to this. You don't want it to go above that according to the instructions. And you don't want to tip it to where the water can go back into the motor. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump this out. After using this for a little bit, the squeegee attachment is awesome. It will get every bit of water up. The thing I don't like about it, you can't fill it up with much water at all. Honestly, I'll probably never use this to vacuum up water. If you have a rag or a small towel handy, it's gonna be faster. The only downside is you'll have to wash that rag or let that rag dry, whereas this is a little more convenient for some people, I guess. They can just empty it and let it dry out. As far as the dry part, the dry sucking of this, I think I'm just gonna use this as something to clean my car. It's not the best dry vac out there for sure. As far as for being a hand vac, it's pretty darn good. But I like the small attachment to get in the crevices of the car. The brush works okay. It doesn't have a lot of suction. It's not gonna pull up a lot of stuff. But if you're doing your seats, you definitely wanna use this. You don't wanna use this hard part against your seat fabric. It could damage it. This maybe for the flooring, picks up like small little pebbles and dirt. It did a pretty good job of that. But for 35, 40 bucks, this is a decent hand vac. As far as using this for apartment maintenance, I can see this coming in handy if you're just doing light drywall sanding and you just need to vacuum up some drywall dust real quick. This would do an excellent job at that. Or if you make a small mess in, you know, a resident's home, this is a good thing to just quickly pick it up. You don't need to sweep or wipe it with the rag. This would definitely come in handy to keep on your cart and run work orders and pick up after yourself. I did do a couple of run times where I just charged the battery fully and let this vacuum run with the 4 amp hour 1+ Ryobi battery. The vacuum lasted for and with the 2 amp battery, I ran the vacuum straight for. If you were looking to buy this or thinking about purchasing this hand vac, I hope this review helped. I know this is not for everyone. Again, it is a fairly cheap hand vacuum and it definitely has some good purposes. If you've used this vacuum, what do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Dave. Until the next tool review, I hope to see you there.